Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Talitha Kume, and we are here with another Wednesday night review. You guys, we've had so much going on. We've been doing a lot out here in this hot Las Vegas city, and we're excited about some of the stuff that we've been doing. Don't worry about our puppy. He's doing way too much.
Yes, she is.
She's doing way too much. I'm sorry. I don't know why I always call her he, because we have another dog that is a he, and we just got this girl, but she's doing way too much, and she's in my...
I'm trying to put her down.
Yeah, my screen time. So, but you guys, we said that we were going to come to you every week. And so we need to know if you are enjoying our movie reviews. We've only been back on line for the last 3 weeks, I think. So we haven't even been doing this a month because we were doing the play and getting ready for that we just did this past weekend. But let us know if you're liking it, if you're enjoying it. Bobby is saying that he doesn't know his purpose for being on the screen.
Doing any kind of social anything.
Yeah.
I'm super tired. I feel like I'm overchased. All this attention for 15 views.
Yeah, and it's not... And
I'm
it's
not
not
judging the 4 people that watch us. I appreciate y'all. But I'm like, I feel like we do a little bit too much for like just a few views, having a buzzer behind for $10 in gas, you know, all these crazy things. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend any more energy doing that part. Things need to be direct for me. So
yeah, and it's not about...
I'm taking way too many direct L's, you know, and I'm not trying to be a negative person, but I don't know. I need some of this stuff to make some sense.
Yeah, and it's not about it. For me, it's never been about views or anything like that. It's always been about, for me, to be able to have healthy dialogue and have good conversation about whatever it is we're conversing about. So I'm not,
healthy dialogues. Anybody talk back?
Healthy dialogue. Well, now we're sharing it, so I'm not sure if you shared it to yours, but I just shared it to mine.
Facebook,
so
I haven't seen you talk back.
So if you don't have Facebook, then Bobby is probably not going to see anybody talking back to us. So hopefully we get somebody to join in. If not, we're just going to keep on continuing doing what it is that we do. I feel like, in my opinion, nothing is going to happen without consistency. So you try something, it doesn't work. We don't know if it works until you continue to try it. There's been several things that people do, and they started, and when they started, they had 2 people, 3 people, whatever it was that they were intending whatever it was they were intending to happen when they first launched, whatever it was, it had to be consistent for it to grow. People had to know about it. People had to learn about it. People had to see it. So that's what we're doing. I'm excited to be back. And so hopefully Bobby will get it together and he'll be excited to be back. If not, then it'll end up just being me. But at the end of the day, we like watching movies, so we figured that we would review movies, or we would review whatever the hell we want to review, because we can. Because everybody has an opinion. So, we want to talk about today, we've seen a couple of movies that we saw that were, like a while back that we saw that we kind of want to talk about, because we've just been having a hard time, 1, finding movies, and 2, agreeing on movies that we want to see that have some type of a plot twist or have some type of a storyline just for us to talk about, period. Because sometimes you talk about stuff, you're like, that was whack. Why was we talking about that? And so we actually saw a movie, and I am going to pull it up because it was a really good short that we were talking about. We actually saw 2 shorts, and I was trying to figure out the name of the other short we saw, but I could not figure it out to save my life. So I decided to go with the other short that we saw, which was, it's called 2 Distant Strangers, I think. 2 Distant Strangers. It was a movie that came out in 2020, and it was only about 30 minutes, you guys. I want to say we saw it on Netflix, and it was starring Joey Badass. So this movie was about, if you remember, the movie was about, it was kind of like a Groundhog's Day replay. When I know we've seen a lot of movies like that, where the character in the movie, the central character in the movie, they end up reliving their day over and over and over and over again. This is going to be a spoiler alert as well. But so the movie is about him living his day over and over and over again. And it was an interesting movie. And the reason why I think I wanted to bring this movie back up is because we did do our play that we wrote and directed this past weekend called For Women Who. So the play was about different different women and their stories, and then we did a male panel discussion afterwards to just talk about some of the things that the women talked about in the play, right? And so Bobby and I ended up having a discussion shortly after that. I don't know what day it was when we were discussing it, and we were talking about the pain of the Black man. And you guys, it was really difficult for me to sit there and listen to my husband talk about the pain and the fear that he has being a Black man in America today. And so I kind of just wanted to let him talk about that a little bit, because it has everything to do with this movie. The movie Two Distant Strangers, starring Joey Badass, and there was another star in the movie. I don't recall his name. I'll look it up and see. But it was a white cop, and we've seen him in some other things before. He's always played a bad person to me and everything I've seen him in. But Bobby, talk about how you felt watching that movie. If it mattered to you, if you just kind of like, this is every day, this is my life, or what did you feel when you were watching the movie?
I don't remember anything about that movie at all. I don't even remember. I don't remember any of it. I can't even see Joey Badass in it. All I can see is his face all cut up on Power. I can't see nothing about that movie. So
this movie that we watched, I don't remember when it was. It might have been maybe 3 or 4 months ago, maybe 5 months ago.
Maybe
I think
a year
it was
ago?
before. No, it wasn't a year ago. It was before we moved, but it was just really recent. Recent enough to where we could remember it. So it was a movie about him. He looked like he had maybe a one-night stand. So spoiler alert, he had a one-night stand with a young lady, and then he was getting up, getting dressed and everything, getting ready to leave after he left her to get back home to his dog. And the whole premise is him just trying to get back home to his dog.
Okay, I kind of remember a little bit.
Okay, he walks outside and he runs into a cop. Now,
Yeah,
I don't remember what the cop was looking for, what the cop said. I don't remember anything about what the cop was doing, but I do remember that I think he ends up getting killed by the cop. Mm-hmm. And then he wakes up and it's the same day, and it repeats itself over and over and over and over and over again. So his goal now throughout the 30-minute movie is to not get killed.
Let's try to convince the cop.
Right. And so if you remember it now, I thought about bringing the movie back up because of the conversation you and I had the other day when you were just really emotional talking about the fact that you're fearful as a Black man in 2025.
Always. And that movie is, you look at the kind of movie, some movies you see, and you see like endings or things that happen, you're like, oh, that's real life. That movie was straight up fake. Or straight up make-believe or science fiction.
You think it was...
Like that could never happen. And most of this, it was a cry out, a wishful cry out from the writer for all the Black men who've had to feel and succumb to that story.
The cop's name was Andrew Howard.
His name was Assface.
Yeah.
But for every Black man that's had to feel like I feel every single day going out, like, traumatized by the police. I saw 8 bike cops this morning pulling people over on the freeway. And I was like, golly. And they just let me roll by. I'm like, man, I'm surprised they didn't stop me. Mm-hmm. Because it would have been normal for me to get stopped in that on the freeway with 8 bike cops pulling people over. But I feel it every single day. And I feel like that movie was like a, how do you say it? Like a soft release for people that feel that kind of trauma.
So what do you think he was trying to say then? Because you said that it wasn't real.
They were trying to give the idea of, to me, of a Black man being able to have another chance after a mess up, which we don't.
But did he? So he didn't mess up.
It doesn't matter. If he ends up killed by a cop, he messed up. Just what it is. So to be able to keep from getting out of that, or keep from getting pulled over, whatever made him mess up in the first place to end up in that place, I think that movie was trying to show Black men getting another chance.
But he didn't.
Because he kept getting a redo. Like every day.
Right, but he didn't mess up though.
Okay.
I believe
he didn't mess up according to us and to him.
Well, that's
according to whoever felt like he was a reason to end up on the other side of the bullet, he messed up, or on the other side of getting talked to for whatever reason. Like you're my child, like I'm your child, and you're my father. You have the right to just stop and ask me questions.
So but I don't understand what constitutes a mess up if I'm coming out of my home or if you're coming out of your home. So if it was you, you're coming out of your.
It's not about that part. The part is he doesn't get to go back to the house. So apparently he messed up somewhere. That's the feeling that we always feel as black men, like we're always effing up.
But
and our next move is gonna probably be an F up. So.
But why do you feel that way? That doesn't make sense to me. So you're not.
Why not feel that? Why would not feel that way?
Why would you feel that way if you were? So this man in the movie, he's coming from a one night stand or what have you. He met a cool chick or whatever. He's like, hey, like let's get up later. She's like, all right.
And did he end up with her?
And so she's like,
I can't remember.
No, I think
whatever it was a one night stand was a mistake.
So he ended up leaving her home and about to head to his house, walking down the street with his book bag, and then he gets stopped and asked questions by a cop. So this guy is unknowingly stepping into a scene where he ends up losing his life because he's walking out of this woman's house. So you're trying to tell me that the karma says, oh, well, he must have made a mistake by sleeping with this woman, and that's the reason why he gets killed?
I'm just saying, for us as black men, we always feel some sort of weird way because there's always some weird something, like in these films especially.
Yeah. I don't know. I see somebody watching Elizabeth. I see her watching, and so we're talking about the movie Two Distant Strangers. Not sure if you've seen it. It's a short, about 30 minutes on Netflix, starring Joey Badass, who is now playing the character Unique in Raising Kanan. Really, really good actor. He's turned out to be a really, really good actor. But we were just talking about how we just did this play. We were talking about men and their fear of just being outside, man. Their fear of being outside, their fear of being erased, their fear of being misunderstood. And so I was just asking Bobby how he felt about the movie, and he was saying that he felt like that is not real. So it's not real for a man to get a redo. And so he kept waking up every day, getting a redo, trying to figure out, how do I not lose my life today? Do I go a different direction when I come out of this chick's house? Do I just talk to the man honestly and say, hey man, I know that you want to do this or whatever, but maybe we can talk about it. Like, he's trying to really figure out a way as a black man to say, hey, I'm important too, and I don't deserve to lose my life just because of my color. And that's what the movie is about. It's very, very interesting. Very, it's emotional. It was emotional to me. It was really emotional to me. And is there any resolve? Is there any resolve? Like, Elizabeth, if you're still watching, if you want to comment, how are you teaching your black boys to be around the police? Because in the movie, I don't recall the guy doing it. I think I remember he might have asked him for his bag or to open his bag or something. And then the character was like, no, you can't. You don't have a right to search my bag or something like that. And then that's kind of how everything popped off, I think. So what are we teaching our boys when it comes to cops now in 2025? If the same things are happening that was happening in the in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, what are we teaching our boys now that's gonna make a difference?
Become a cop. I'm not, I don't know. What do you...
Become a cop?
Yeah. That don't even work. We know brothers who become cops and they're no longer cops. So I don't know.
Elizabeth said, constant conversation with my children on their rights and how to interact with law enforcement. So Elizabeth, what the conversation that you're having though, what are you saying to the boys? Because in the movie,
he interacted with law enforcement.
Right, the character had not done anything wrong. So
yeah.
So say your boy just walking outside of your house or walking outside of a store or anything like that or whatever, and now they have to interact with cops saying, hey, put your hands up. So your boy puts his hands up, but he doesn't know what's going on. Like, he's confused. Like, why are you stopping me? I'm just walking outside of my house, or I just left my mom, or I just left my brothers and sisters. I just left school. And so I'm walking outside, la, 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 la. And then this man, put your hands up. I put my hands up. And then what? Like, how are we really helping these young boys not get shot? That was one of the stories in the play, that that one of the young men got shot because of mistaken identity. So is there any recourse for us to be able to save our young boys? Because I don't believe that all of it is just, boys or men being difficult with the cops. So, oh yeah, I had reason to shoot him because he was being difficult.
We keep trying to paint over situations as if they're all the same. Mm-hmm. And all these boys who are, like, it's not every boy who's dealing with cops.
Right.
Issues.
Absolutely. I agree.
It's only a few.
I agree.
All of us have to feel that resistance and that lack of respect from law enforcement for them black men.
Is it because of what we see? Because maybe all of us don't have to deal with it, but I remember just kind of watching several different TV shows. I remember watching The Fresh Prince, and it was it was a prime example, even on All American, I believe. I remember watching The Fresh Prince where Carlton's character was not used to being stopped by a cop or anything like that or whatever, because he was a privileged black man, right? So he's being stopped by a cop, him and Will are in the car, I remember, and Will is like, hey, Carlton, be cool, because Will is from, he's from Philly. So he's like, okay, I know about cops and being stopped and harassed and all this other kind of stuff. But Carlton was clearly naive. He didn't know. And so he's kind of getting smart a little bit or whatever, and they end up in jail. Right. So clearly, every man is not going through this, but there could be a possibility that because you're a black man, you might eventually go through this. Black man, black boy, whatever, you might eventually go through it.
Yeah, I think the biggest help that's been helping us lately the past few years is the police reform. Mm-hmm. With all of that. All that defund the police department stuff is junk, but just reform. They need to learn. They really do need to continue on with their sensitivity training and their ethnicity training and all those things that they're having to do.
And Karen Michelle said, agree with your adversary quickly, teaching them conditional acceptance. And that's
so is it yes or no?
It really, Bob, not yes or massa, but and so if you guys two distant strangers, go watch that movie. It's only 30 minutes.
Who are the two distant strangers? Him and the two distant
him. I think him and the cop were the two distant strangers. Okay. But I think he tries that. He tries that on one of his days where he comes back after getting killed. He tries to be like, hey, our brother, I know, maybe you're having a bad day or something. I believe he tries that too. And it works for a little bit, and then it goes right back to it goes right back to the cop being nervous or scared or fearing for his life or whatever. He can't figure it out. Yes, the movie showed that the cop, in the essence of them being a cop, no matter what the character, the black man, said, it still led to the cop feeling like he was a problem. For whatever reason, it didn't matter. He could have said, "Hey, I'm Obama's lost son." He could have said whatever, but I think that this cop did not care. This cop saw a black man who he was fearful of, or a black man who should not be allowed to be walking the streets free.
Can we throw lightning out of our hands or something? They're always talking about fearful of. Like, what is that?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Hadouken! Can I throw it? I ain't got no powers. None of us have any powers like that for them to be all.
Elizabeth said, she said she saw the All American episode. Yeah, with golly, I didn't forgot their names. Spencer and what the light skinned dude, his Olivia's brother, Jordan, Spencer and Jordan. Yeah, same thing with them. It was a Carlton Will type of situation where Jordan didn't understand why they were being pulled over and all that other kind of stuff. So it's difficult, but it was a really, really good movie, you guys. And for me, I never really watched a whole lot of shorts, but for me, I would give that movie probably a 4 out of 5, because it was interesting watching the black character, the male, trying to explain his way out of it and trying to figure out every day, okay, let me do something different so that I can make sure I don't die today. And none of it worked. None of it worked. If you remember, I don't believe any of it worked. I don't recall the whole, and I don't want to spoil the ending, but I don't remember any of it working. I remember the cop still being exactly how he was. But I give it 4 stars. If you remember it now, what would you give it?
I'll give it almost a 3.
Almost a 3. Why almost a 3?
Because it wasn't impactful enough for me to remember right off.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, no, it hadn't been impactful because you said that you didn't want.
I'm gonna support all my Jamaican brothers.
Now you said you didn't want to watch it when I was like, hey, let's watch it again so we can review. You're like, no, I don't want to watch it again.
It was no.
And so it wasn't traumatic for you.
It's overdone. That storyline is so overdone.
The storyline, I believe, of that having a day to live over is overdone. But I know you like those type of stories, like Happy Death Day or something like that. We watched that. I remember watching that. And you love Groundhog's Day. And so that's the reason why I picked it, because I thought that you would enjoy it. But I haven't seen a spin like that where a person gets killed by they put the race in it. They put the race.
I haven't. But had they not made like Groundhog's Day, it would have been the same typical kind of story.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, you guys, if you guys want to see it, talk about it.
I did appreciate the work.
Talk about it with your kids. Watch that movie, Two Distant Strangers, starring Joey Badass, and I believe that it's still on Netflix. And so now we are, I want to say we are almost, maybe about 10 minutes left. Conditional acceptance. You're like, yeah, interesting concept. Yeah, the conditional, it's real. It's real to learn how to teach our boys and our women to de-escalate situations when it comes to cops and people in general. To me, like if you come across somebody who's giving you very negative energy or very aggressive energy, we have to teach our children and our adults how to de-escalate the situation. So you are already mad. I come up against you and you are already mad, whether it's a man, whether it's a cop, a teacher, anything like that, a person that might do you harm. De-escalate, try and de-escalate the situation and figure out what's going on, because it doesn't make sense for you to have the same type of anger that this person has. And now this person's angry. You meet them with your anger. Now the next thing you know, somebody is shot or stabbed or beat up or whatever. And it all could have been avoided by saying, oh, okay, I see you having a bad day. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bump you. I didn't mean to take your parking spot. I didn't mean, whatever it is, just, So I think that's what Karen Michelle was talking about with the conditional acceptance, just trying to de-escalate that and say, yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm gonna put my hands up. I'm sorry. What's going on? Well, you look like, okay, well, no, I'm not him. I was just coming from my, my girl's house or whatever, and see if that works. So I don't know, you guys, but anyway, so we gave it a 4 star.
I pulled over a few months ago here, and the cops didn't want to hear shit.
No.
And they gave me a $2,000 ticket for driving bro's car.
Yeah.
With no coverage.
Yeah. No insurance.
And I'm like, dude, it was a bad day. It was
Bobby,
a very bad day. I had to go pick her up from work.
Yeah, I was not feeling good. Bobby was terrified, y'all. He was terrified. He had just got that puppy, and the puppy.
First thing I was thinking was she gonna jump and they was gonna shoot me. I remember saying this before.
Yes, and the puppy is a support puppy. I got the puppy to help him emotionally and to have to go through that. Matter of fact, you know what? Maybe it was a blessing in disguise that she was with you, because that's her job. Her job is to be there to support you emotionally. And that was a really hard day for him because, they didn't want to hear anything. Luckily, I was able to come to him and just hug him and hold on to him tight, because it was very scary. Because I think he said it was a cop, and another cop pulled up and it's like, what are y'all doing? I don't have any insurance. Okay. So you need 3 or 4 cops just to do whatever? Because I don't have I'm riding around with no insurance. Our insurance has lapsed.
It wasn't
we were even driving. We
had insurance.
Well, we were driving.
Didn't have any.
The tags were not
registered.
Yeah, the tags were not registered yet.
Because the car was broke down. We weren't even trying to. Man, it was rough. It was a rough time.
Yeah, and so I just ladies, men, mothers, fathers, caregivers, just praying for our people. Period. Bobby and I pray before we leave out of the house. Pray before bed. We really just, I think that's all we can really ask for. Like, Lord, keep us safe. Teach us what to do in those type of situations. But I want to change to something awesome, y'all, because we only have, like I said, a little bit more time left. We haven't gone to a restaurant together, but I have to tell y'all about my restaurant experience today. So I went to my job. They're always feeding us. So Bobby's like, oh my God, you're so blessed. I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of blessed a little bit. So my job, they're always doing fun, different things for us to try to kind of engage us in unity and camaraderie, you know, and being able to work together. And so we went to Meow Wolf, to the Omega Mart, and there was like a scavenger hunt type of game that we played. But before that, we ate at a restaurant there called The Beast. The Beast at Meow Wolf. And when I tell you, that food was absolutely amazing. They didn't even have prices on it. I think it was because we were such a big group. So they just gave us a menu and said, okay, pick one from each part of the menu and you guys can have it. But there was no prices on there. So I had the Italian job salad, which was amazing. They had firecracker shrimp or something like that. Amazing, because I stole one of my coworkers' piece of shrimp. They offered anyway. They had these big old nachos. They had big old salads that were fit for at least 2 people. The salads were, and then they had pizzas. And I got a burger. So I got a barbecue cheddar burger with onion rings and truffle fries. And although I was almost the last person to get my food, y'all, I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to take Bobby back so that he can review this himself, because I promise you, and because he cooks, he's real hard on restaurants and service and different things like that. But I'm telling you, this food was absolutely amazing. The burger was super juicy. They didn't even ask me how I wanted it cooked. They just cooked it, and it was kind of like a medium rare type of burger. But it was amazing, you guys. I ate all of it after I did get my food, the truffle fries, and then we were able to get a dessert. So I have a caramel cheesecake that I haven't eaten yet, so I'm gonna eat that in a minute. But yeah, the food was amazing. So if you want to go somewhere, take your family that comes into town, or have a date night or something like that, Meow Wolf, the Beast restaurant is the spot. And they have a lot of interesting art in there that I've been meaning to have Bobby and I go to. So hopefully we'll be able to.
I'm trying to connect there,
yeah,
but the artist that I was trying to connect to was a racist.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to work with me.
Yeah, but
so I was like, you know, I'm not gonna ever support Meow Wolf for Area 15 ever.
Yeah.
But since she wants to go, I'll definitely try it.
And really, it was only that, to me, you know, experiences like that happen. It depends on if they're in a position of power. So this person that we did meet, they're not in a position of power as far as, oh, they're over Meow Wolf. They might be somebody that works there. So I don't want them to taint my opinion of the experience just because of one person.
That's why it's the review.
Yeah, so that's 100%. The same thing. So that's the same thing, you know, with anything. You know, you kind of try to not make your opinion based on, you know, that one person. And because, you know, she was racist towards Bobby, and Bobby, you know, felt some type of way about it.
She wasn't racist towards me.
Well, just racist, period. Yeah, kind of racist.
Yeah, I'm not really with it at all.
But I think that I think it might be a good experience, and I think that we as African Americans, Black people, you know, whatever we're calling ourselves, we just need to be mindful. Sometimes you just need to bust the door down. If it's something that you want to do, man, bust the door down. And don't give a damn about what other people are saying about it. Bust the door down. Keep it moving. So if I'm not going to let a racist person, know wherever I am, ruin my my day if I'm somewhere.
And that's not what I'm talking about.
No, I know that. I know that.
Before she goes into this, I'm way above all that childish shit. My thing is, I don't want to give you any money to continue to pay for whatever big truck or whatever nonsense you're paying for. I'm not going to continue to pay for your growth whenever we're not growing. So no support of any racist nonsense is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why. It has nothing to do with none of that other stuff or care about feelings. It's just I don't want to see you growing if there's no growth for us. Well, I don't want to watch you do that.
I can agree with that, and yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
So I just want to I'm not going to pay. Yeah. I'm not going to fatten your bank account anymore willingly.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't know that. You don't know if that's just like, you know, the one place we went, and you can't know until you know. So you have some person saying, "Oh, this place is racist," and the owner is racist, and this, that, or whatever.
What does that mean? That means nothing to me. I go in there and I find out myself. don't go off of those words.
And so that
president,
right?
Hey,
And
the president's racist. Like, what is that?
And so that's
what
all.
What has he done that's racist to you personally?
Right. So that's all I'm saying, because this lady, she's not over anything. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna give that any energy, because
I don't even know if she's over anything.
She's not.
We're making that assumption. We don't know that.
She's not. I saw the list of who works where and who's the VIP. I mean the VP and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we had the list of who's who. So she was kind of low on the totem pole. So I'm like, that's why I said I'm not gonna allow you to spoil what I have going on. Until you can, until I see that this is a racist organization as a whole, then I'm with you. But oh no, I'm not gonna support them because they don't even support us. Like we were like, okay, don't support Tommy Hilfiger, people like that who don't even want you in their clothes, and you paying this man all this money to rock your stuff because you feeling some type of way, but he don't even want niggers, black folk in his gear. So why will you continue to do that? So I agree with you, but the food was amazing. So you judge for yourself. Like
was it like top of the world amazing?
Or? It was not, Bobby.
Okay.
It was nothing. It had nothing to do with top, and the service was good. The servers were really, really good, and so they even apologized for getting me my food late. And so last but not least, because we are running overtime a little bit, I want to talk about something I saw on Facebook just today, I believe this morning or something, and it was about Marvin Sapp. So Marvin Sapp, apparently, he's being called out because he was having a service, and I don't know all the particulars, you guys. I just watched a little clip of it, and so I heard what I heard. So he was having service, and he was trying to collect $40,000, some money, and so he was like, I got 1,000 people in here, I got 1,000 people online. I need y'all to give $20. He like, that's $40,000. I need that right now. And he told the ushers to close the doors. Now, I didn't hear him say lock the doors, but the memes and all that's going around saying that he locked the church folk in until they gave this money, which was crazy because we talked about that too in the play about the tithes and, the church folk taking the tithes and putting it in banks that's not really allowing that money to work for them, and they're not putting it back in their communities or helping some of their congregants. So what do you think about, like, I heard it. I heard him say, you guys, I need y'all, no, close them doors back there. Hey, close them doors. I need y'all to give, it's 1,000, y'all, I need y'all to give $20 a piece. He like, we gonna leave together. Pretty much is what he said. So it's kind of gave you, he alluded to, y'all not leaving until y'all give $20. So we can get this 40,000 real quick and get it up out of here. What do you think about that, man?
I don't know nothing about it. I think it's sad. I feel like a lot of those boys don't know who they are while they're in that space doing that stuff, man. I don't know the real story. I don't know. It sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
It sounds real dictator.
Yeah.
But it don't sound any different than what I expect Christian men to be like. I don't have but one Christian man that I know that I can have a conversation with. Out of all my family, friends, whoever else, wherever used to be friends, wherever.
Yeah.
Nobody who still watches that institution can have a conversation with. They're all in some sort of weird trance. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Yeah, I feel some type of way about it, though, because at the end of the day, no matter they always say sometimes we take things out of context, so you don't want to speak on anything if you don't know the context of it. So I didn't know the context of it because they didn't show the whole entire clip. But what I did hear was, y'all, we all leaving at the same time. I need all y'all to give $20. And my online people, if y'all give $20, we'll have $40,000.
What was the occasion though? Was he trying to buy
he didn't
for somebody?
It didn't say what it was for or anything like that. And so
But even if it was that dramatic, why would he have to go about it that route? It had 1,000, 2,000 people. I'm pretty sure you have 2 or 3 people in there who you could have had a dinner meeting with.
Right.
To cover all of that.
Right, to cover that instead of asking everybody.
Because
but maybe
they have money they want to give. It's not like they just want to hold it and sit on it forever.
Yeah, but maybe in his mind, he's like, if I can get all these 1,000 to give $20, then I don't have to go to a sponsor or get a donation or anything like that because, he was saying that $20 nowadays is, he's like, that's nothing. $20, he's like, $20 used to be a good date amount of money, I would be able to take my wife out for a date, blah, blah. He was explaining all this. But I just thought that it was interesting.
What's the rest of it? You got some more information?
I don't. That's what I said. That was the only information that I had. But there were comments about people like, if he would lock me in there, I would have did this and I would have did that and I would have did this. So I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. But it's the same thing.
People saying that, bruh, you already sitting in here.
Yeah.
So whatever they decide to do in here, you're gonna go for it.
So when
what do you mean? You're not gonna man up now.
Right. In the play, when I wrote about that though, when I was talking about the $50 line, the $100 line, the $500 line, in some churches that do that, I did feel some type of way. So I was like, I wrote that because I've experienced that a couple of times at different churches where they were asking, people to give $50, people give $100. We don't know what they were asking for the money for.
It was probably something serious, but I wish you would have done it a better way.
But at the end of the day, I think that kind of guilting your members into giving for whatever it is. I don't give a damn what it is. Whatever it is, kind of guilting your members into giving instead of letting them make their own decision is kind of harsh. And it is kind of dictatorial to me.
Yeah, it's dictatorial.
Because I think you can just, hey, y'all, we're collecting money because Sister Joan needs a heart transplant or whatever needs this, or, I'm saying, I need this, or whatever it is. Give me the opportunity to say, okay, you know what? I believe in that. I'll give to that. Versus, I need all y'all to put $20 out your pockets.
Did he say $20 ain't nothing?
He said, yeah. He said $20 is not nothing.
How many people said, so why don't you pay it? How many people said that?
I don't know who said it, but he was saying that. And so I think that he kind of misstepped on that one. No matter what it was for, he should have done more of a, let me give you the why, and then you decide. And so I just want to talk about that real quick because of the play. But anyway, thank you guys so much. All of y'all who attended the play are still talking about the play. We appreciate your support. I'm going to continue to keep doing movie reviews because I love them. I'm not on here all the time, but I do love talking to y'all, talking about issues, and hopefully coming up with solutions and or making you think about some stuff that you can talk about with other people. And that's why I do this. That's why I do this. So anyway, we will be back hopefully next Wednesday with another movie review. Like we said before, if you guys have any movies that you guys want us to see and review, put it in the comment section for us. I'm going to post this on YouTube later so you guys can watch it on YouTube as well. Tell your friends about it because we just want some healthy dialogue. That's what we want. And then we want to be able to kind of build off of that. So we thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we shall see you next time. Bye. Oh, you know what? This Walmart water, even though I'm not a real fan of promoting Walmart, but
Skittle water?
This water, it's called Candied Rainbow, and it's like Skittle water, but it's actually really good though, y'all. It's really good. So their water is kind of all right if you want a soda alternative. I don't think it has as much sugar as soda has in it. But Bobby is like, well, what kind of sugar does it have in it for it to be fizzy like that? I don't know, y'all.
No, not sugar.
I don't know.
It has carbonation.
Carbonation.
I'm like, where does the fake sugar go?
Yeah. So I don't know.
You can burn off real sugar through whatever. How do you burn off fake sugar?
I don't know, y'all, but I love the waters. I had to kind of get off of them for a little bit, got back on them, but they're pretty doggone good. I like the peach, and I like the apple, the black cherry limeade, and now this new one that I'm just trying. I think I like it a little bit. So Walmart, give me a deal, and I'll promote your waters.